top stories this hour. 41 persons dead after boat capsize in Lampedusa. Kim Jong-un fires top general, orders military to brace for war. Plus, tropical storm Khanun begins battering in South Korea. Welcome to the World News on VOP TV. I am Kayla Abraham. We begin on the Italian island of Lampedusa, where 41 persons are believed to have died in a shipwreck. 4 migrants told the Red Cross that they left Sfax in Tunisia last Thursday and were shipwrecked the next day due to bad weather. The surviving migrants disclosed that they had to use life preservers made from inner tubes to stay alive. The survivors were rescued by the Italian Coast Guard and brought to Lampedusa, the southernmost island of Italy, on Wednesday. According to the Deputy General Secretary of the Red Cross, 45 persons, including 3 children, were on board when the boat sank. Meanwhile, an Ecuadorian presidential candidate known for speaking up against corruption has been shot and killed at a political rally in the capital amid a wave of violence in the South American country. This event occurred on Wednesday. President Guillermo Lasso confirmed the assassination of Fernando Villavicencio and suggested organized crime was behind his slaying. Villavicencio was one of 8 candidates in the August 20 presidential vote, though not the front runner. The 59-year-old politician was the candidate for the Build Ecuador movement. Ecuador's Attorney General's office disclosed that a suspect in the assassination of Villavicencio died of wounds after being arrested by authorities. Violence in Ecuador, a historically calm country, has surged in the past year as drug traffickers have flocked to the South American nation, resulting in a concerning uptick in drug trafficking, violent killings, and child recruitment by gangs. In Korea, North's leader Kim Jong-un has fired his top general amid a shakeup of the country's military leadership and wants his army to gird for a war. According to state media, General Park Soo-hee was dismissed as chief of the general staff and Vice Marshal Ri Yong-gil was appointed in his place. It was also reported that other leading commanding officers were dismissed, transferred, or appointed during a meeting of the Central Military Commission on Wednesday. North Korea regularly revamps its military leadership. Some military leaders later re-emerge in different positions, while others disappear from public view. Now, a wildfire tore through the islands of the Hawaiian island of Maui in total darkness, reducing much of a historic town to ash and forcing people to jump into the ocean to flee the flames on Wednesday. At least 6 persons died and dozens more sustained injuries. Now, President Joe Biden disclosed in a statement that he had ordered all available federal assets to help Hawaii. The president stated that the Coast Guard and Navy are supporting response and rescue efforts while the Marines are providing Black Hawk helicopters to fight the fires. The county disclosed in a statement that the Coast Guard rescued 14 people, including 2 children who had fled into the ocean to escape the fire and smoky conditions on Tuesday. Acting Governor Sylvia Luke stated that the flames wiped out communities and urged travelers to stay away. Now, rains and winds are growing in southern South Korea as a tropical storm drew closer to the Korean peninsula, where it was forecast to slam into major urban areas. Dozens of flights and ferry services were grounded and tens of thousands of fishing vessels evacuated to port as government officials raised concerns about potentially huge damages from flooding, landslides, and tidal waves triggered by typhoon-strength winds. South Korea's weather agency stated that the storm, named Khanun, was gaining strength as it moved slowly towards the country, with southern and eastern areas increasingly feeling its force. Khanun is expected to reach the southern resort island of Jeju hours later and then make landfall near the mainland port of Pyongyang on Thursday morning. The agency says Khanun could have a punishing impact as it will likely slice through the center of the country over several hours, with the storm eye brushing the capital city of Seoul while packing winds blowing at 90 to 154 kilometers per hour. Now, the President of the United States of America has issued an executive order banning U.S. investments flowing into China's technology sectors, including semiconductors and microelectronics, quantum computing, and artificial intelligence. The order issued by Joe Biden will prohibit private equity and venture capital investments flowing into sectors that he stated will help Beijing gain a military advantage by developing new applications that pose significant national security risk, such as the development of more sophisticated weapons systems, breaking of cryptographic codes, and other applications that could provide these countries with military advantages. The order stated that in addition to capital flows, Chinese companies getting U.S. investments benefit from other intangible gains such as managerial know-how, market access, and links to broader financial networks. The ban applies to China and its special administrative regions of Hong Kong and Macau. Declaring a national emergency to address the threat, Biden directed the Treasury Secretary in consultation with the Commerce Department and other departments and agencies to formulate rules requiring private equity and venture capital firms to notify the U.S. government of outbound investments. The rules will also specify the types of investments and technology areas that are prohibited. Meanwhile, Britain stated that it is weighing how to respond to a decision by U.S. President to prohibit some tech investments in China, adding it was continuing to assess potential national security risk. Joe Biden signed an executive order on Wednesday that authorizes the U.S. Treasury Secretary to prohibit or restrict U.S. investments in Chinese entities in 3 sectors: semiconductors and microelectronics, quantum information technologies, and central artificial intelligence systems. A spokesperson for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's government stated that the executive order gave important clarity on the U.S. approach. London has recently sought to stabilize its relationship with Beijing following a period of turbulence over issues such as security, rules in Hong Kong, and alleged human rights abuses against Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang. Foreign Secretary James Cleverly set out Britain's new approach in April, saying it will seek to protect itself by limiting national security threats posed by China while engaging in areas such as trade, investment, and climate change. Now, West African heads of state are scheduled to meet on Thursday after Niger's military junta defied their deadline to reinstate the nation's deposed president. But analysts say the economic community of West African states may be running out of options as support fades for a military intervention. The junta announced a new government on Wednesday night. More than half of the 21 positions were filled by civilians and the rest were military appointments. Niger was seen as the last country in the Sahel region south of the Sahara Desert that Western nations could partner with to counter jihadi violence linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group that has killed thousands and displaced millions of people. The international community is scrambling to find a peaceful solution to the country's leadership crisis. Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is leading the ECOWAS push. On Wednesday, a Nigerian delegation led by the Emir of Khanun, Khalifa Muhammad Sanusi, met the junta's leader, General Abdulrahman Tichani. The Emir was one of the few people allowed to meet Tichani. Meanwhile, 2 Nigerian envoys meet with Niger military leaders in hopes of restarting peace talks. Meanwhile, the U.S. expressed concern for ousted Niger President Mohamed Bazoum's health and safety. Now, Democratic Republic of Congo will meet in the Central African nations this month for the first trilateral summit on the preservation of the world's 3 major tropical forests. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and Indonesia's Joko Widodo will hold talks with Congolese President on August 25 in the capital Kinshasa. Now, Germany has sent 2 Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine after Kyiv upped its calls for help to fend off Russian missile barrages. The latest figures from the German Defense Ministry show that 2 Patriot systems have been delivered to Ukraine. In his nightly address on Wednesday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that Kyiv had received good news from Germany, exactly what was agreed upon with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. The first US-made Patriots manufactured by defense giant Raytheon Technologies arrived in Ukraine in April 2023. Kyiv's defense minister described the systems as a dream, adding at the time the beautiful Ukrainian sky becomes more secure because Patriot air defense systems have arrived in Ukraine. Ukraine had already received at least 2 Patriot systems, including one sent by the US. The others, a known Patriot system in Ukraine, was sent jointly by Germany and the Netherlands. And that's it on the world news on VOP TV. I am Kayla Abraham. VOP Business coming up. Thanks for watching.